Now on CoastTV News.
A cold front is moving through Delmarva this morning, and ahead of it, there are some areas of dense fog, and then unfortunately no rain with the front. Cooler and breezy conditions today as the drought conditions continue. Details coming up.
Maryland early voting begins as the presidential candidates campaign in other states. The details of where you can cast your vote on the Eastern Shore.
Prioritizing pedestrian safety, I'll tell you which coastal town is the latest to talk about ways to keep people safe.
Grading the coastal bays, we're going to see if those along the Worcester County coast have seen improvement.
This is CoastTV News Today.
It is Thursday, October 24th, 2026. Good morning, I'm Matt Pensick.
2026?
And I wrote that wrong, Paige.
Good morning, I'm Paige Marley. You are getting way ahead of yourself.
You know what? Well, I'm just aggressive like that.
I like it. I think you've been knowing that October is moving so fast.
You know that it just you get caught when you just read the prompter and you just thought you was. Yeah.
That was actually a joke.
Let's rewind. Let's do that again.
He was testing you guys, see if you're awake this morning.
All right.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. It's still dry out.
I know. Yeah. 2 years later, it's dry.
Right, exactly. And coming up soon, Election Day, Halloween, all that good stuff. But yeah, we are counting down the days as well until we have rain. So let's bring in Bob right now. Bob, what's going to come in first, the election or the rain?
I noticed Matt jumped ahead right through the elections, through the drought conditions. He just sped right through everything 2 years ahead. But good morning, guys. We are looking at the dry conditions continuing. We had some dense fog this morning, but a cold front moving through is beginning to scour that out now. Visibility about 9 to 10 miles. And temperatures in the 50s, inland areas, 56 in Delmar, Georgetown, 59, 61 in Rehoboth, Bethany Beach right now at 60 degrees. And the wind starting to swing in out of the northwest. So that will start to scour out the fog, and it'll get breezy as we go through the day. Unfortunately, no rain with this front that's moving through right now. And there's a cold front right there moving into Delmarva. Just a few showers to the north in Philly, back through New York, and maybe a sprinkle for us. Otherwise, just a dry frontal passage. So we're looking at temperatures in the 50s this morning. Winds picking up from the north and northwest. Could see a sprinkle, but nothing measurable. Here's 8 a.m. on Futurecast. Those winds ramping up from the north. Temperatures in the 60s. I think we'll see afternoon sunshine, temperatures near 70 early afternoon, and breezy conditions, and then those temperatures sliding through the 60s as we go into the afternoon hours. So those gusty winds this afternoon will heighten that fire danger once again, so be extra careful. Of course, burn bans in place as the drought continues. More on that coming up, and the all-important weekend forecast coming up in just a little bit.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Bob. Happening tonight in Ocean City, the candidates in this year's mayoral election are expected to participate in a forum, and this will be held at the American Legion Post on Philadelphia Avenue. Incumbent Rick Meehan is seeking a 10th term as mayor, and he's being challenged by former Ocean City Council member Peter Buis. 7 candidates running for council are also expected to be available, and they are vying for 4 seats. Both the mayor and council positions are 2-year terms. Forum is scheduled to begin at 6. All right.
There we go. Starting next week, don't forget, make sure you tune in to Coast TV for our preview week coverage. We're going to be airing some exclusive candidate interviews focusing on the races that will impact us here on Delmarva. So again, Decision 2024 preview week is next week.
Now we're going live now to Atlanta City, and basically all the state of Georgia, for that matter, expected to play a big role in the 2024 presidential election. Yesterday, former President Trump paid a visit to the Peach State, and happening today, Trump will be in Arizona and Nevada for campaign spots. Vice President Kamala Harris will be in battleground Georgia.
NBC's Alice Barr shows us the latest October surprise being pushed by the Harris campaign.
This morning, both presidential nominees responding to new comments from former President Trump's one-time chief of staff, John Kelly, telling the New York Times his old boss is
certainly an authoritarian, admires people who are dictators. He has said that. So he certainly falls into the general definition of fascist, for sure.
Let me ask you tonight, do you think Donald Trump is a fascist?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And I also believe that the people who know him best on this subject should be trusted.
The retired 4-star general also claiming the former president said complimentary things about Nazi leader Adolf Hitler.
He commented more than once that that Hitler did some good things too.
It is deeply troubling and incredibly dangerous that Donald Trump would invoke Adolf Hitler.
Former President Trump firing back on social media, accusing Vice President Harris of going so far as to call me Adolf Hitler because he says she's losing, and calling her a threat to democracy. Also accusing John Kelly of making up a story out of pure Trump derangement syndrome hatred. The Trump campaign calling the Kelly stories debunked and fabricated, while the former president campaigned in battleground Georgia, encouraging Christians to vote in a faith-based town hall.
We've really energized a lot of people this time because they've seen how bad it is. This last 4 years it's been a horror show.
Before talking immigration at a rally as the nominees make their final push. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Early voting in Maryland begins today, in fact, in less than 2 hours, and it will run through Halloween. Voting hours each day will be from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. There's one location in Ocean City, that's the Powell Convention Center. We have a full list of all Eastern Shore sites that can be found on the Coast TV News app and website.
If you drive on our coastal communities during the peak summer season, you know there's a large number of people walking around on sidewalks and, of course, crossing the streets.
Yeah, and now Bethany Beach is exploring ways to keep their beachgoers safe. It's where we find Coast TV News reporter Elisa Weber. Elisa, there are some specific moves the town could make.
Matt and Paige, we all know that beach towns during the summertime, like Bethany Beach, are packed with beachgoers and cars. And from drivers looking to find that perfect parking spot to people trying to juggle all of their beach equipment, we're often preoccupied when we come to the beach, which can lead to accidents. And Bethany Beach officials are actually looking at adding flashing lights at crosswalks in order to draw more attention to them. And those signs would also sound off an alarm to let you know that you are safe to cross. This morning, the Bethany Beach Bike and Pedestrian Committee are meeting to discuss some areas of focus for the 2025 season, as well as asking the public about any concerns they have that they think should be addressed. And Bethany Beach officials will meet today at 10 a.m. to talk more with people about what they think about safety. Back to you.
New this morning in Lewis, where upgrades at the city's parks are getting reviewed, including the parking situation at the Canal Front Park. According to city officials, the crushed stone that currently covers the parking lot drains poorly after rain and often leads to standing water. The Parks and Recreation Commission has sent a recommendation to City Council to build a drain line underneath the path that empties into a basin that already exists at one end of the tennis courts. According to city documents, the contractor estimates this work would be $8,000. Council is expected to review the plan at this morning's workshop.
Later today, we're going to learn if Maryland's coastal bays continue to see improvement in areas that make it a key natural resource. At an event coming up in West Ocean City, the Maryland Coastal Bay Program will release its report card for 2023. In 2022, Assawoman Bay got a grade of a C+, but that was an improvement from 2021's C. For 2022, dissolved oxygen levels and seagrass are indicators that had a negative impact on that rating.
We have an update on a story that we've been covering for years, and a story that has some new developments this week. It involves the proposed wind farm regulations for protecting marine life to an extent. The regulations from the federal government allows for, quote, up to 20 incidental takes of marine mammals. The government defines a take as harassment all the way to death. People here on Delmarva have a lot of concerns.
I am totally against it. You look out here and you see a beautiful horizon, and under that water is all kinds of wildlife. To disturb that, to put up wind power, no.
And these rules do go into effect January 1st. They last for 5 years.
And this brings us now to our Coast TV poll. We are asking you what aspect of U.S. Wind's project worries you the most. Let's take a look at some updated results.
Yeah, the one getting the most votes is habitat disruption at 62%. A lot of you say you're also not worried, and then we got a couple people voting in for long-term impact and also some noise pollution. If you haven't voted yet, you can still do so at CoastTVNews.com or our mobile app.
All right, we're just getting started this morning on Coast TV News Today.
Yeah, coming up, fighting fatal drugs. We look at the work being done by an organization to reduce opioid-related deaths.
Also, Hurricane Cost hits North Carolina. What we're learning about the estimated damage done by Helene.
And Officers as Artists. That is the name of a national exhibit, and it will feature one of Delmarva's own, That story in this week's Coastal Connection. Coast TV News Today is back after this.
Avoid the nightmare of mold. Did you know, after a water-related event, mold can begin to grow within 48 hours? If this happens in your home or business, first thoroughly clean and dry the affected area, then increase airflow and decrease relative humidity. Or just call Riptide Restoration, your trusted mold remediation experts on Delmarva, to professionally treat and remove the mold and restore your home as if it never happened.
For more information, visit delmarvaexperts.com.
Ride the wave of Delmarva's vibrant coastal vibes with Coast Life. From hidden gems to sun-kissed trends and captivating local tales. Dive deep and immerse yourself in our coastal rhythm. Catch Coast Life weekdays at 4 on Coast TV.
How many times have you tried to clean a stubborn mess but end up with no success? What you need is the all-new waterproof Ruby Horsepower, the new cordless and rechargeable power scrubber that cleans faster and easier, guaranteed. Watch, baked on oven grease is no match. It blasts away dirt and grime in no time. The power comes from our rotating brushes, spinning at 350 RPM. The incredible torque fights calcium, mildew, mold, and more. Take it in the kitchen, where it busts through caked-on crud, or outside and tackle tough tasks with ease. Get your Ruby Horsepower with 4 additional attachments, all for just $39.99. Great news! They're in stock and ready to ship. Due to high demand, only 2 per order. Order now.
Call 1-800-455-0217. That's 1-800-455-0217 or visit horsepowerscrubber.com. So call 1-800-455-0217 now.
Vacation starts with VA. All that you love, all in one trip. Start yours at virginia.org.
For some, photography is just a hobby, something to do for fun, take a few quick pictures. But for one Delaware State Police trooper, as Brendan Conroy shows us in this week's Coastal Connections, it's a whole lot more.
Turning a moment into a memory. That's what Corporal David Wynn does through the lens of his camera, and it's something he's gotten good at. In fact, one of his photographs has been selected to be on display at the National Law Enforcement Museum in Washington, D.C.
It's very humbling. It's very exciting.
And to make things even better, the picture in question, it's this shot of Corporal Wynn's own daughter standing over a puddle.
Me being able to be there, watching my kid play. She was playing in the puddle right after the rain, so that was allowed me to capture those moments, right? We kind of forget about those brief moments in life that we take for granted.
Wynn's photo will hang on the wall as part of an exhibit called Officers as Artists. While he loves snapping shots in his free time, it also plays a big role in his job as a public affairs officer for the state police.
Some of the posters we see here were used for the troop on display. Some of them were actually used for recruiting materials.
Whether for work or passion, the outcome is the same. The click of a button becomes a literal snapshot in time.
It allowed me to appreciate that and kind of reflect on it, you have to hold on to this precious moment and cherish those and be appreciative.
Feelings, even great ones, can slip away quickly, but Corporal Wynn does his best to capture the ones he never wants to forget.
Corporal Wynn's photographs are sometimes turned into posters or prints that can be seen at different troop locations across the state of Delaware, as well as the Delaware State Police Museum right here in Dover. If you want to see his and other police officers' work on display at the National Law Enforcement Museum in Washington, D.C., they're up now all the way until August of next year. In Dover, Brendan Conroy, Coast TV News.
This morning's weather forecast courtesy of Baths by Spicer Brothers, a Delmarva tradition for over 20 years.
Welcome to the brand new Baths by Spicer Brothers showroom. Experience the future of bathroom remodeling. Baths by Spicer Brothers is Delmarva's exclusive BCI Elite dealer, offering more selections, styles, and colors, including options like the laser etched tile pattern system. Made in the USA, built for beauty and performance, our baths are durable, mold resistant, and guaranteed for life.
With no money down, no interest, and no payments until 2026, you have no reason to wait.
Call Baths by Spicer Brothers today because you deserve the best.
These fields are empty now, but soon they'll be alive.
Some teams can only dream to play it because they can't afford it. And that is why Toyota is sponsoring Delmarva's Dream Team.
We're looking for teams from any sport and any level. Each month, your Delmarva Toyota dealer will give one local team a $1,000 grant. And after the year, one finalist will receive an additional $3,000.
Nominate your dream team at DelmarvaSportsNetwork.com under the Features tab.
DSN's Delmarva's Dream Team, sponsored by your local Toyota dealer.
Are you having trouble hearing your TV or listening to conversations in loud spaces? Then it might be time to consider Nano hearing aids. Nanos are FDA-registered OTC hearing aids. Don't be fooled by overpriced hearing aids. Prescription hearing aids could cost $3,000 or more. Nano hearing aids are now offering $100 off through this special TV offer. Call now and get 2 CIC rechargeable hearing aids for only $297. And if you're not happy, return them for a full refund.
We know Angela Alsobrooks got caught taking illegal tax breaks, owing $59,000 in back taxes.
And she's now getting a deal. No penalties and a 25% reduction in interest.
Now the New York Times reports Alsobrooks lied on official mortgage documents, and Alsobrooks was sued twice for not paying her bills. Thousands in water, sewer, and other expenses. What scandal will they report next? Maryland's Future is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Listen to Coast Country 103.9 and 106.3. We're Delmarva proud.
Time is 5:16, and we are now getting a live look at Ocean City. All things considered, pretty comfortable morning for late October. Bob, I know you're tracking several angles to these dry conditions, and we are approaching some historic numbers here.
We certainly are, Matt, and not shockingly that we are now tied for 5th as far as the driest periods in Georgetown, Delaware. So pretty amazing stuff. Our streak now is 27 days of no measurable rain. That was last on September 27th, where we picked up 0.13 of an inch of rain. The record is 34 days, and that was back in 2001. And you can see that we're tied for 5th now, 27 days. Our present dry stretch is tied with 1965. Then you go up the list, 28, 29, 30, 34 days. We are going to tie and surpass this record as we go into the next few days. By Halloween, this will be the driest period in Georgetown and really much of Delmarva. Pretty close by, we do have a fire weather warning in parts of southern Jersey. We'll have to see if that's expanded to Delaware this afternoon as the winds pick up and the fire danger is elevated. Visibilities are improving this morning. We have seen areas of dense fog, 1.75 miles in Ocean City, but 10 miles in Salisbury and Georgetown. And as a cold front moves through, that will scour out the fog. And we have some clouds with the front, and sometimes with the cold front we get some rain, but we do not have any this time as the front is moving through. A few showers up near Philly and New York, but even there the showers are very light. And then once the front comes through, winds pick up out of the north as we have a big ridge of high pressure building in from the Midwest, and that will cool us down as we go through the days ahead. Upper 50s out the door from Delmar to Georgetown, and Redden 56 for you, 59 in Milton, 61 from Rehoboth down to Bethany Beach. And the winds now shifting to the northwest, signaling that that front is moving through. And we'll see those winds picking up this morning. Could see a possible sprinkle, otherwise a few clouds. By mid-morning, it's getting breezy with lower 60s, upper 60s around lunchtime. And I think some of us touching 70 as we go into early afternoon, then falling temperatures as we go into this evening with the northwesterly wind. And then those winds start to slacken off tomorrow morning and cover the plants because there could be a little patchy frost inland. Around 38 in Delmar, 39 in Millsboro and Georgetown, 40s at the beaches, so no frost there, and lighter winds on Friday, but a chilly day with sunshine, highs only into the mid-60s, and then looking chilly for Friday night lights as temperatures fall through the 50s. Those gusty northerly winds today, once again elevating the fire danger. Could see gusts maybe up to 30 miles per hour at times, and then we'll see those winds diminishing as we go through the overnight into Friday morning. Lighter winds tomorrow, and then shifting to the southwest tomorrow night as it does warm up on Saturday, and then the northwest winds kick in again as we cool off into Sunday. So up and down temperatures. Bottom line is, well, we stay dry and fair through the upcoming weekend. Paul Davis 7-day forecast. 70 today, mostly sunny. 39 tonight, only 67 on Friday with sunshine. And as we head into Saturday, we're looking at 72 with mostly sunny skies. And then Sunday is cooler, 61. By the way, looking really good for Sea Witch. 38 Monday morning, 63 on Monday, and then warming up into the mid-70s by midweek. Umbrella giveaway winner today. I really wish our winners could use their umbrellas. Eileen Weber from Lewis is your winner. Eileen, congratulations. One of these days you'll get to use your umbrella. And congratulations on that new umbrella from Paul Davis and CoastTV.
All right, Bob, thank you so much. The cost of Hurricane Helene in North Carolina has reached more than $50 billion in damages. Governor Roy Cooper announced Wednesday that the new estimate is at $53 billion. That number is triple the $17 billion in damage done by Hurricane Florence in 2018. State lawmakers are set to return for a brief session where they're going to expected to debate another disaster relief bill. Cooper's recommending spending $3.9 billion as a down payment on the future of western North Carolina, knowing there are costs that neither insurance companies nor the federal government will cover.
Big news from Delaware Attorney General Kathy Jennings. Now in effect, 2 of the state's loitering and solicitation laws no longer going to be enforced. This comes after the American Civil Liberties Union of Delaware filed a lawsuit claiming the laws unfairly target homeless people and violate the Constitution. The AG has instructed all police agencies to stop enforcing them, and she says anyone previously convicted will have opportunities for expungement. Jennings says that new legislation to amend the laws will be introduced in the next legislative session.
Coming up next, training to prevent tragedy. We look at what one organization in Delaware is doing to combat opioid-related deaths. Coast TV News Today returns in just a moment.
The Down and Distance Football Show is back. Watch previews of our games of the night and games all across Delmarva, along with our DSN, Bayside, and Henlopen Power Rankings. Plus, Delmarva players to watch, top plays of the week, and exclusive interviews with players and coaches. Tune in every Friday night before the Scoops and Scores pregame show, only on the Delmarva Sports Network and the DSN app. Down and Distance, only on DSN and the DSN app. Download the free Coast TV First Alert weather app today.
Michael Anderson of Anderson Wealth Management has the strategies you need to help plan your retirement. Catch Wise Money right here on WRDE.
As a math teacher, Matt Meyer knows that Delaware's tax system isn't adding up. So he has a plan to fix it. Give middle-class families a tax cut, invest in schools, and lower costs. But Mike Ramon's plan gives tax breaks to the ultra-rich, which could cut education by nearly $175 million. Matt Meyer knows these numbers don't add up. He'll make state taxes fair so families can get ahead. Vote Matt Meyer for governor.
You ever just wanna... Yeah, that's fall in Pennsylvania. You can't spell plaid without PA, and that's no coincidence. There's a reason folks fawn over our foliage, pine for our pumpkins, and sigh for our apple cider donuts. Fall is just fallier here. It's almost not fair to the other states, so get here. Pennsylvania, the great American getaway.
Is your cookware scratched inside and an eyesore on the outside? Introducing Gotham Steel Hammered Cream Cookware. Forged with an authentic hammered design, engineered with extremely strong titanium and tri-coated with ultra non-stick ceramic. Gotham Steel features double the non-stick release. Now you can cook healthier without all the butter or oil. Get this huge 15-piece set for 4 payments of $49.99 with free shipping.
To order, call 1-800-513-6408.
Huddle up for Nittany Game Week.
Get a sideline seat with coaches Jay Paterno and Tom Bradley as they join host Todd Sadowski for expert analysis on the blue and white. Nittany Game Week, Friday nights at 10:30 and Saturday mornings at 11 on DSN.
Next reel, it's the spookiest time of year, and one of these players could make a killing.
It's $1 million. It could be yours.
Thursday at 7 on Coast TV.
On Wednesday, Lorette Health Center in Georgetown hosted their Lorette Goes Purple event to connect those dependent on opioids with healthcare and community resources. The goal of the event is to raise awareness and help reduce opioid-related deaths by providing Narcan and training.
I find it very useful, either for myself or for other people, so I will use that information and advocate for what they're trying to do, because many people out there need help, and so that's a beautiful thing.
This is the second year Lorette Health Center organized this event for the community.
Rough week? Cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up now for free at coasttv.com/sign up and get your weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox. And we're joined again by First Alert meteorologist Bob Trihey. Checks notes. Looks like another good day to take a walk on the beach.
What is really on that?
Bob, why are you calling me out today, Paige? I thought we were friends.
We are friends. I'm sorry.
It's a prop.
No, it says on there. It says the forecast. You're right.
Yeah.
First, you're calling out Matt because he's 2 years ahead, and now he's got nothing on his little white piece of paper. I know. Paige, be nice to Matt.
Yeah, be nice to Matt.
It was a joke. I'm sorry.
We're looking at a beautiful beach day. All kidding aside, guys, there is a small craft advisory. So boaters, it's getting choppy out there. We'll have a gusty northerly wind later today. Waves 3 to 5 feet. Fenwick Island, up around 70 degrees for you. Upper 60s in Ocean City, but hang on to your hat. Those winds gusting up to 30 miles per hour. Lewis, you can see the wind icons there and through Hobart as well. So that ferry ride up to Cape May, we're going to see choppy conditions. So maybe a little bouncy. On the Bayside, windy too. We're looking at temperatures into the mid-60s this afternoon, feeling cooler with the breeze. And then in Crisfield, 61 early on, and then the winds and temperatures in the mid-60s. Up and down temperatures, but more importantly, the drought conditions continue. Much more on that and your weekend forecast for Sea Witch coming up in the next half hour.
Looking forward to that, Bob. Thank you. Also ahead, seeking drainage solutions as a plan moves forward in Lewis, dealing with water issues at Canal Front Park.
Also preventing crashes ahead of peak season, we have a live report on how Bethany Beach could improve beach traffic safety.
And next, the drought we are experiencing dealing a blow to December. Why your holiday tradition may be harder to find. Stick with us on Coast TV News today.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things.
You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it.
We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers.
We are normal people just like you.
And together, we can make a difference.
Take on your legacy.
To learn more, visit nationalguard.com/DC.
When you're close to the land and the sea, you can taste the goodness. The historic Lewis Farmers Market brings farms closer to tables. Meet the growers, talk to the people that milk the cows, and pick the perfect peaches. Organically grown fruits and vegetables, sustainable meats and eggs, A2 dairy products, artisan breads, and fresh local seafood. The historic Lewis Farmers Market is in the George H.P. Smith Park at DuPont and Johnson Avenues in Lewis every Saturday from 8 to noon.
Who wants to drag out a bulky vacuum? Introducing Horsepower Duck, a super compact vac with ultra powerful suction. Clean up that mess in the kitchen, the spill on the sofa, even sawdust in the workshop. Just duck it up. The compact design can reach the tightest places, so store it in any drawer where it's always at your fingertips. You can even store it in your glove box for the ultimate car vac. The HEPA filter helps remove dust and allergens. Plus, it dumps out with ease, so it's ready to clean again. Get the Horsepower Duck hand vac for just $39.99. Order right now and we'll upgrade you to the Duck Pro package, a $30 value, yours free. You get the bendable tube, the crevice nozzle, and the soft brush nozzle, but supplies are limited, so there's a strict limit of 3 ducks per order. This may be your last chance to get yours at this low price, so don't delay. Duck it up today.
Call 1-800-581-3085 or visit duckback.com. So call 1-800-581-3085 or visit duckback.com now.
Now on Coast TV News.
A cold front is moving through Delmarva this morning with dense fog ahead of it. Be careful out there. And unfortunately, no rain with the front. Cooler and breezy conditions today as the drought conditions worsen. I'll have your forecast details coming up.
On that note, Bob, no Christmas tree. That could be the case as local farmers deal with drought-like conditions ahead of the holiday season.
Making the beach safe, the latest efforts in Bethany Beach that focuses on pedestrians and bikers.
Maryland early voting begins. Locations are set to open this morning, and we look at how the presidential and local candidates are making their respective cases to voters.
This is Coast TV News Today.
It is October 24th, 2024, Paige. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Paige Marley.
It's 5:29. Dry conditions, there remains a big focus for us here.
It does, definitely, yeah. All of Delmarva, which is a little crazy. You know, sometimes we at least get a shower somewhere else in our area.
No showers.
No showers here. So we're going to bring in Bob right now, who's been, normally I say tracking the storm, but you've kind of been tracking this drought, Bob.
Yeah, it really is kind of sad, kind of depressing, actually, that we are looking at the dry conditions. We're not alone. Mid-Atlantic region, Northeast, even stretching into the plains. It's been a very dry October for a lot of us. A little foggy this morning as the cold front's moving through 2.5 miles in Ocean City. I did encounter some dense fog earlier, but visibilities are better in Georgetown and Salisbury. So another hour of the fog, then we start to clear it out as the winds kick in from the north. 50s right now from Salisbury up to Milton, 61 in Rehoboth, Bethany Beach at 61 degrees, and the winds are starting to turn in out of the northwest. As they pick up, it will scour out the fog. We'll see some clouds, but unfortunately, once again, no rain with this front. Maybe a few sprinkles up near Philly and New York, but here comes the front making its way through Delmarva. As it moves through, it'll scour out the fog. The winds will pick up from the north. Here's 8 o'clock. We will see clouds, maybe a sprinkle or two. Temperatures in the low 60s and then blustery. You can see the different color arrows. We're going to see very strong winds along the coast, maybe up to 30 miles per hour, gusty inland, and maybe touching 70 inland areas early afternoon. And then as the cooler air builds in, falling temperatures into the afternoon. Bus stop forecast for the kiddos, some patchy fog. Watch for that. Otherwise, breezy and cool 58, and then heading home, breezy and mild and 69 degrees.
All right, Bob, thank you so much. Now, this drought not loosening its grip on Delmarva. We've seen how it's affected agriculture and gardens.
And now one particular farming business that makes the holidays brighter, it's having trouble. CoastTV's Zakia Jennings shows us how likely Delmarva Christmas trees here will make it on the back of Santa's sleigh.
Christmas trees being watered. Believe it or not, the holiday season is right around the corner. However, this season isn't as holly or jolly for Don Hallowell. He owns Don's Tree Farm and says this drought is forcing him to run his irrigation system a lot longer than usual.
We are at a major deficit on water. We're watering 3 times a week, a little over a ½ inch, about 6/10 per watering.
He says he's not the only tree farmer struggling through the drought.
I know farmers that have lost over 25,000 trees this year. That's a terrible thing.
And while he's crossing his fingers for rain, so far the extra irrigation has been enough.
You can look at this little guy right here. See how green he is? The color is excellent, and he's doing really well.
If and when the skies do eventually open up, there is a delicate balance to worry about there as well. If we get a lot of rain, Don says suddenly he'd be worried about something called root rot.
Believe it or not, if we get too much rain, that's what causes the phytophthora, because we don't have good drainage.
Here is what Hallowell refers to as his sleigh. Each year he throws a big tree on the back and rides down Route 1. He's confident that he can make this happen this year, though he still worries about the dry conditions and what it will do to his trees that have barely formed roots. This truck here is prepped and ready to go, and as long as Hallowell continues to care for his trees, your order could be on the back of this truck soon. In Greenwood, I'm Zakia Jennings, Coast TV News.
We cover many stories here on Coast TV about pedestrian safety. If you live here, you know, during the summertime, our beaches are packed with people and cars.
Yeah, Bethany Beach is exploring some ways now to keep beachgoers safe, and that's where we find Coast TV News reporter Elisa Weber. Elisa, you spoke with someone walking around about whether or not they feel safe.
Yeah, Matt, you said it perfectly. During the summertime, beaches like Bethany Beach, they're packed with cars and people. And we also see a lot of drivers trying to find that perfect parking spot. And then we see people trying to juggle all of their beach equipment. So we're often preoccupied when we come to the beach, and that can lead to accidents. And Bethany Beach officials are looking at putting in flashing lights at crosswalks in order to draw more attention. And those would also give off a noise when it is safe for you to cross. This morning, the Bethany Beach Bike and Pedestrian Committee are meeting to discuss some areas of focus for the 2025 season, as well as asking the public about any concerns they have that they think should be addressed. One person told us he actually avoids coming to Bethany Beach during the summertime.
I generally try and avoid the downtown when people are up and around, so I walk here every morning. So I try and get here before 10 when they start to pay for parking, and walk the boardwalk and the downtown, and generally it's not crowded then.
And that meeting will take place this morning at 10 a.m. Back to you.
Lisa, thank you so much. Happening tonight in Ocean City, the candidates in this year's mayoral election are expected to participate in a forum. This is going to be at the American Legion Post on Philadelphia Avenue. Incumbent Rick Meehan, seeking a 10th term as mayor, he's being challenged by former Ocean City Council member Peter Buis. The 7 candidates are running for council, also expected to be available. They are vying for 4 seats. Both the mayor and council positions are 2-year terms, and the forum is scheduled to begin tonight at 6.
And starting next week, make sure to tune in to CoastTV for our preview week coverage. We will air exclusive candidate interviews focusing on the races that will impact us here on Delmarva. Our Decision 2024 preview week kicks off next week.
We're going to go live now to Atlanta. We don't go live there very often. Georgia seeing plenty of activity this week as the Trump and Harris presidential campaigns make stops in the Peach State. Yesterday, former President Trump paid a visit there to Georgia. Today, it'll see Vice President Harris. Last night, she participated in a town hall hosted by CNN. Harris ramped up the attacks on former President Trump's character, making it the center of her closing arguments to voters. And during the town hall, she also addressed a number of issues, including Israel and the rise of anti-Semitism that's happened throughout the U.S. over the past year.
I will say that we have seen a rise in anti-Semitism. It is something that we have to be honest about and we have to deal with. As Attorney General, I actually published a hate crimes report on a regular basis, and anti-Semitism was among the highest forms of hate in our country, and this was before October 7.
Former President Donald Trump was on the campaign trail in Georgia. On Wednesday, Trump was critical of the Biden-Harris administration's approach to Israel and that nation's response following the brutal terrorist attacks last year. And he also shared that he has been in contact with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
Fortunately, they didn't listen to Biden, because if they listened to Biden, they'd right now be waiting for a bomb to drop on them.
Trump is scheduled to be out west on Thursday, campaigning in Nevada and Arizona.
Early voting in Maryland begins today. That runs through Halloween. Voting hours each day are from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. There's one location in Ocean City, the Powell Convention Center, but you can find a full list of Eastern Shore sites on our CoastTV News app and our website.
New this morning in Lewis, improving the drainage situation in the Canal Front Park parking lot. It will get a look at by Mayor Andrew Williams and the City Council. According to city officials, the crushed stone that currently covers the parking lot drains poorly after rain, and this often leads to standing water. The Parks and Recreation Commission is recommending having a drain line underneath the path that empties into a basin. This basin already exists at one end of the tennis courts, and according to city documents, the contractor estimate for this work would be $8,000. The Parks and Recreation Commission included this in its strategic planning report draft. That is scheduled to be reviewed by City Council at their 10 a.m. workshop.
Some developing news now in West Ocean City. Today, we will learn if Maryland's coastal bays continue to see improvement in areas that make it a key natural resource. The Maryland Coastal Bay Program will release its report card for 2023. In 2022, Assawoman Bay received a grade of 3+. That was slightly up from 2021's C. Dissolved oxygen levels and seagrass are areas that Assawoman still struggles with. The C+ grade was tied with Newport Bay for the biggest improvement of the 5 coastal bays that the program rates.
Still got a lot more news to get to. Don't go anywhere.
Still coming up this morning, tragic tropical storm. That is the situation in the Philippines. The aftermath after it made landfall Wednesday.
Also, postseason volleyball position as programs in both Delaware and Maryland are getting ready for conference championship games and state tournaments.
And library funding falling short, the problems in Frankfurt and the moves that are being made to deal with its budget problem. CoastTV News.
Mondays at 5 on Big 107.7. It's time to huddle up and talk football.
We're talking touchdowns, tackles, and everything in between. From game-changing plays to the latest news around the league. We'll take a deep dive into all of the plays that made a difference. We'll see you in the end zone.
Catch the End Zone, Mondays at 5 on Big 107.7. Sponsored by Tyndall's Casual Furniture.
This is the revolutionary socket fan by Bell & Howell. The amazing 2-in-1 ceiling fan and light. If you can screw in a light bulb, you can hang the Socket Fan light. Socket Fan comes with this handy remote. You can control the light and the breeze that you need. Socket Fan fits any standard light socket. You can do it yourself in less than 10 seconds.
And now, the Socket Fan Lights with Deep Socket Extender is yours for $49.95 with free shipping. Order now, and you can get a second fan for 50% off.
Get cool fast with Socket Fan.
A divorcing dad.
It's a family dog that I bought.
The fact that you purchased the dog is totally irrelevant.
A defiant son.
He liked playing video games and staying at home with the dog. That was it. Didn't want to go anywhere.
You were clashing with your 17, 18-year-old son. Been there, done that.
A divided family.
I said, Nicholas, if you're choosing to not go to college,
I want the dog back.
And he said no.
Next Judge Judy.
Thursday at 2 on CoastTV.
Yeah, we getting all fired up, getting ready for the players when they line up. Think it's time we go and get them lights up. Let them high school lights ignite us. Cause we fighters, coming with a hut like this. Coming with a pick six like that. Gonna be a showdown so big. Think it's time for football night to impact. High school football is everything. Hey, hey, let's go. For the win, for the gold, for the crown, the ring. High school football is everything.
Just about 5:41 on our Friday morning. Cold front moving through Delmarva. You see little ripples on the water there. Irish Eyes Cam and Lewis scouring out the fog. Watch out, though, farther south. Some fog still hanging on and some clouds as the front is moving in. Nothing in the way of moisture as we're tracking this cold front moving across Delmarva. Unfortunately, nothing in the way of rain with it. It'll be a dry frontal passage. Then it gets breezy later today. Temperatures now 56 in Salisbury, 59 in Georgetown, 58 in Seaford, 61 in Rehoboth, down to Bethany Beach. We're in the lower 60s. Those winds turning to the north and northwest will pick up and get gusty today. Good day on the golf course once again. Now that wind might wreak havoc a little bit with the ball. 70 later today. Sun and clouds, breezy and cooling down later in the day. Remember, another way to get your forecast is the CoastTV First Alert weather phone. It's sponsored by Baird Mandalis, Brockstead, and Federico.
Thank you, Bob. The Frankfort Public Library facing some tough financial challenges. Library leaders say they're cutting programs and their employee hours as they try to find more funding. The Frankfort Library is not part of the state library system, so it doesn't get a lot of money from the county and the state. That funding just barely covers the employee salaries. Most of their money comes from grants and fundraising. But officials say there was a $75,000 budget gap last year.
Right now, if we continue to be in the situation that we were in last year, we probably only have enough reserves for 2 to 3 years, and that's provided that the roof doesn't give way or, every air conditioner breaks.
And most of the library's money comes from grants and fundraising.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studio.
Yeah, the final week of the regular season in the Bayside and the Henlopen and volleyball is winding down. So let's start with the Bayside North title game in Centerville. Queen Anne's is headed back to the Bayside Championship. The Lady Lions topped Kent Island in 4 sets last evening, 3-1. QAC is now a perfect 14-0 on the season and lost just 3 sets the whole year. The Lady Lions will take on Parkside in the Bayside title game. That's coming up on Monday, while Kent Island gets ready for a likely rematch in the regional playoffs beginning later next week. Snow Hill and Pocomoke also never disappoints, and the Warriors protected home court against the Eagles, 3-1 the final over Snow Hill. Pocomoke turns right around and plays James M. Bennett later this evening to finish the regular season. That one starts at 5 in Salisbury. Snow Hill, meanwhile, readying for the 1A regional playoffs coming up next week. Up in Delaware, how about Florida Gulf Coast beach volleyball commit Elena Milloway and Delmarva Christian? The Lady Royals rolled past Red Lion in straight sets. Milloway recently surpassed 1,000 kills for her career, and with this win, she helps DC end the regular season at 8-7. Lake Forest also won in straight sets over Indian River. The Spartans finished 12-3 and now set their sights on Cape Henlopen in the conference title game. That match set to be played at Cape this Saturday. That for sports. Have a great one, everybody.
Here's what's coming up tonight on DSN at 6:30. It is Henlopen Conference Boys Soccer when Sussex Central visits Cape Henlopen. It's followed by the Bayside Conference Girls Soccer match at 10:30 post time. And after that, it's the final score. on the DSN Plus app, Sussex Central and Cape. And here are your DSN Plus exclusives. At 5:30, Delaware High School field hockey. That's when Sussex Academy hosts St. Mark's. At 6, Virginia High School football, Nandua at Arcadia.
Let's jump over to some NFL now. Week 8 and Sunday Night Football, a game Eagles and Commanders fans will have their eyes on. The Cowboys face the 49ers. That coverage begins on CoastTV at 7.
Coming up, tragic tropical storm. That's a situation in the Philippines, the aftermath after it made landfall on Wednesday.
And weather-wise, visibility pretty good in Ocean City right now on the Hershey exteriors cam. Maybe still some lingering fog inland, so watch out for that. And then we'll see breezy and cooler conditions today behind a cold front. And then we'll see a cooler Friday, then warming up with up and down temperatures into the weekend. And yeah, it's still dry. Your forecast details coming up in 2 minutes.
Ride the wave of Delmarva's vibrant coastal vibes with Coast Life. From hidden gems to sun-kissed trends and captivating local tales. Dive deep and immerse yourself in our coastal rhythm. Catch Coast Life weekdays at 4 on CoastTV.
Do you have stains in your carpet that won't come out? You need Horsepower Bullshot, the all-new hands-free carpet cleaner and deodorizer. Just spray, and the stain and odor go away. Got pet messes? This black light shows a urine stain is gone in just seconds. The advanced foam action formula penetrates deep to emulsify and neutralize stains and odors. It erases blood stains, makeup, juice, coffee, and more. For older and tougher stains, just give it a little rub and watch as Bullshot works its magic. Red wine spills? They're no problem for Bullshot. And watch up close as burnt bacon grease stains are obliterated right before your very eyes. Get Horsepower Bullshot for only $19.99. But wait, due to rising costs, this may be your last chance to get yours. And there's a strict limit of 3 at this low, low price. So don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-693-6210 or visit buybullshot.com. So call 1-800-693-6210 or visit buybullshot.com now.
Yeah, we getting all fired up, getting ready for the players when they line up. Think it's time we go and get them lights up. Let them high school lights ignite us. Cause we fighters, coming with a hut like this. Coming with a pick six like that. Gonna be a showdown, so big. Think it's time for football night to impact. High school football is everything. Hey, hey, let's go. For the win, for the gold, for the crown, the ring. High school football is everything.
Get the CoastTV News app, the latest and most up-to-date stories for your coastal community. Coastal news customized to your needs. Download the CoastTV News app on your Apple or Android devices. CoastTV, our community, your news.
It's now 5:47 on your Thursday morning. We're going to go now to Ocean City, take a live look there. Looking pretty good, Bob, but I think a lot of people for this weekend, their focus is on Rehoboth Beach for the Sea Witch Parade and the festival.
Yes, we're looking forward to that page, and it's a 3-day festival out there in Rehoboth Beach, and we're looking forward to it. Of course, the big parade on Saturday. A lot of us will be out there for that, and we're looking at beautiful conditions tomorrow, 66, and then for the parade, make sure you have your sunscreen and also the water as well. 72, not nearly as hot as last year. It was in the 80s last year, and then Sunday cooling down and breezy, 61 degrees out of Rehoboth. So up and down temperatures the next few days. Looks like my computer doesn't want to advance. There it goes. Our fall foliage report. We're looking at those leaves really looking nice right now. We're near peak, some really nice colors, and then we're peaking next week close to Halloween. Visibility now improving. We had fog out ahead of a cold front, but now that front moving through, and that's beginning to improve the visibility right now. But we have some clouds with the cold front and maybe still lingering fog, especially farther south into Maryland and Virginia. But you can see the clouds as the cold front is making its way through. Unfortunately, no rain with the front, just a dry frontal passage. Then the wind picks up behind it. Maybe a few sprinkles near Philly and back into New York, but even there, it's very dry. And we're not alone in the drought department. All the East Coast and really much of the Central Plains, very, very dry month of October. And here's high pressure across the Great Lakes and Midwest. And then that will move in, keeping our dry streak of weather going. 59 in Del Mar right now, 59 in Georgetown. Milton also the same with lower 60s along the beaches from Bethany Beach up to Rehoboth, as the winds are now turning to the north and northwest, and they'll get gusty as we go through the day, as we're in the 50s this morning, but dress for cooler temperatures with that wind. Some clouds this morning, temperatures in the lower 60s, really breezy along the coast. You're going to see gusts up to about 30 miles per hour. And by afternoon, some places touching 70, maybe around Milton back through Salisbury, elsewhere in the 60s, and then falling through the 60s and breezy as we go into the evening hours. Through the overnight into Friday morning, clear skies, lighter winds. We're dipping into the upper 30s from Del Mar to Ellendale and Millsboro as well. So make sure you cover those plans just in case we get a light frost. And then moving into your Friday afternoon, still on the chilly side, lots of sunshine with highs into the 60s and looking cool for Friday night lights. It should be, right? It's the fall. We're looking at temperatures falling through the 50s, so make sure you bundle up. Look at the winds today, gusting 25 to maybe 30 miles per hour at the beaches and then gusting over 20 inland. That will continue to dry us out into the afternoon and elevate that fire danger. So no burning once again until further notice. And then as we go through your Friday, we're looking at lighter winds, but still out of the northwest, then shifting to the southwest. So we have a brief warm-up Saturday before it cools down on your Sunday. So the bottom line is we continue the dry weather, which is some clouds from time to time and nice weather right through the weekend. Paul Davis 7-day forecast, 70 today, but then down to 39 tonight, 67 Friday, and then the weekend, Sea Witch Saturday, 72, and then only 61 Sunday, looking frosty Monday morning. It's a chilly start Monday, then warming into the mid-70s by Wednesday.
Thank you, Bob. More than 24 people are dead and thousands have had to flee their homes as Tropical Storm Trami made landfall in the Philippines. The storm drenched the region, causing widespread flooding and landslides. It was packing winds of 50 miles per hour as it approached northern Philippines on Wednesday. And according to the U.S. Navy's Joint Typhoon Warning Center, the Philippine Coast Guard is helping carry out evacuations and rescuing people from their homes.
A fire in Rehoboth Beach Wednesday caused significant damage inside a home. It was on Land's End Drive in the Rehoboth Beach Country Club area. That cause of the fire remains unknown, but first responders did tell CoastTV that it came from the basement.
Coming up
this morning, the signs of a stroke, a health problem that's hitting people at younger and younger ages. What you need to know to protect yourself and your loved ones.
And we're seeing good visibility now. The cold front moving through Delmarva, Ocean City, looking good visibility-wise for you. And behind that cold front, well, we'll see the fog ending and then breezy and cooler conditions into Friday. Then up and down temperatures into the weekend and unfortunately still dry. I'll have your 10-day forecast coming up next.
Are you having trouble hearing your TV or listening to conversations in loud spaces? Then it might be time to consider Nano hearing aids. Nanos are FDA-registered OTC hearing aids. Don't be fooled by overpriced hearing aids. Prescription hearing aids could cost $3,000 or more. Nano hearing aids are now offering $100 off through this special TV offer. Call now and get 2 CIC rechargeable hearing aids for only $297. And if you're not happy, return them for a full refund.
The American Heart Association invites you to join the Southern Delaware Heart Walk. It's time to unite, take action, and save lives. Every walker who joins, every dollar donated means more people trained in life-saving CPR, more research, and more life-saving moments for everyone. Join us at the Southern Delaware Heart Walk on November 3rd at the Rehoboth Beach Bandstand. Let's walk together to save lives. Register today at heart.org/SouthernDEWalk. Sponsored by CoastTV.
As Election Day nears, CoastTV is your source for a detailed look at the candidates across Maryland and Delaware. From local offices to statewide races, we have in-depth previews of key contenders and the issues shaping this year's ballot. Stay informed on who's running and what's at stake in the decisions that will impact our future. Decision 2024 Preview Week starts Monday on CoastTV News, CoastTV.com, and the CoastTV News app.
The Rehoboth Beach Dewey Beach Chamber of Commerce and Visitors Center, along with the Paranormal Piranha, invite you to celebrate 34 years of fun at this year's Sea Witch Festival. This award-winning event takes place in Rehoboth Beach, Dewey Beach, and the resort area, October 25th through 27th. Join Hilda the Sea Witch Balloon as she makes her way down Rehoboth Avenue during Saturday's costume parade. Bring the kids, your folks, and even the dog. Find more information and a schedule of activities at beach-fun.com.
Wake up smarter.
I've got the 5 things you need to know to start your day.
Take a trip down memory lane.
Remember in elementary school when you would make those boxes?
Find your next furry friend.
His name is Peppy, and he's a 12-year-old Chihuahua mix.
And discover your inner clumsy.
That's a sad sign that you're getting old when you just take a little tumble like that.
Make your mornings brilliant. Join April weekdays from 6 to 10 on 107.1 The Duck. Sponsored by Dorchester County Office of Tourism.
In the U.S., strokes are becoming more common in younger adults, and experts say many may ignore or not recognize symptoms.
Yeah, Mindy Gaither shows us stroke warning signs every adult should know regardless of age.
The exact cause is still unknown, but around the world, more strokes are striking younger adults ages 18 to 49. Rate of stroke deaths among middle-aged U.S. adults hit a nearly 2-decade high during the COVID pandemic, according to the CDC.
It certainly is concerning.
Dr. Abbas Karal led research at Cleveland Clinic to figure out why younger patients he was seeing were having something called large vessel occlusion, which can cause an ischemic stroke, meaning a major artery in the brain is blocked.
The strokes that happen as a result of large vessel occlusion really happen because of plaque buildup, what we call atherosclerosis. And our study actually showed that those with strokes from large artery atherosclerosis or plaque buildup actually did worse after treatment.
Karal says that buildup can come from risk factors like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, smoking, a sedentary lifestyle, and unhealthy dietary habits.
That's why it's very important to make sure that even younger adults are seeing their primary care doctors, getting checked for those stroke risk factors, and if they have them, to make sure they're as controlled as possible.
Karal says all adults should also know stroke warning signs like eye or gaze deviation, one-sided weakness, arm or leg weakness, facial droop, and slurred speech. If these symptoms are present, get emergency help.
No age group is immune to stroke.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
It's now 5:56, and it's time for us to check in with our coastal pet of the day.
And today's coastal pet of the day is Benny. Favorite here, we're getting Benny in because he has a birthday coming up this weekend. And we hear it's going to be a big party page with his brother Diesel. Benny was submitted to us, as always, by Tammy in Seaford.
Yeah, happy birthday, almost birthday to you, Benny. And don't forget, we love seeing all your pets on Delmarva. Send us photos and tell us what makes them so special. Take a look at your screen.
Yep, you can scan that QR code at the top. That way you can submit your furry friend to Coast TV News and then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. And that way you can see all the pets we feature, like Benny. And tomorrow, a heads up for that, we will feature our BVSPCA
Looking forward. Yeah, good adoptable pet. All right, now it's 5:57. It's time for a look at your forecast before you head out your door.
Yeah, more of the same, Bob? Really?
I know. I hate to be the broken record weather guy, but yeah, kind of the same. And we are looking at patchy fog this morning ahead of that cold front swinging through, so watch out for lower visibility, especially farther south. Otherwise, winds pick up from the north, scouring out that fog. Temperatures rising through the 60s to around 70, but feeling cooler with that wind later today and then falling through the 60s. Paul Davis 10-day forecast, not a rain icon to be had. 39 tomorrow morning, only 67 Friday. For Seawitch, Saturday 72, but then a big cool down Sunday and Monday, only lower 60s, maybe frosty Monday morning, and then warming up as we head towards Halloween. 78 on Halloween, and we turn the page to a new month in early November. Still looking dry. Friday and Saturday, temperatures into the 70s.
Up at 6, more pedestrian safety talks on the coast. We have the details about an upcoming meeting in Bethany Beach and what people say they feel when they walk around the town. That and more when Coast TV News Today returns.